we knew that atomic energy was potentially capable also of peaceful applications. One of them is the possibility of producing large-scale amounts of energy with a fuel of very little weight. This feature could make atomic energy useful in some situations in which ordinary fuels might not be practical. Also, the reaction produces as byproducts huge amounts of radioactive substances. They can be used for all sorts of purposes in physics, chemistry, and especially in medicine.
As you see it from this point, how much financially is this going to mean to Oklahoma?
In savings you have in mind?
Yes, sir.
We are currently estimating $8 million can be saved the state through the new central purchasing agency, and this figure is certainly within the realm of possibility.
Is central purchasing going to cover every item that is purchased by all functions of state government, or will there be some exempt?
There will be exemptions, some of those now defined, and others from time to time, as the need arises, will be exempted, subject, of course, to this unit and the board decision.
One of the great stumbling blocks, as I recall, in the legislature to the adoption of central purchasing was the reluctance of the colleges to come under it. Has that been resolved in such a way as to make the colleges happy with the arrangement?
To the best of my knowledge, the group will, the universities, will be cooperative and work with us with allowances as need be made for changes.
So we have our job to do in that branch, as the legislature had its job. But by the same token, being a redheaded Irishman and optimistic, we hope that we can increase that batting average to 1,000, and that to do it, our forefathers, the framers of the Constitution of this state, anticipated the situation that the people could themselves legislate through the initiative petition. Therefore, I think that we can best describe the area that we're going into now as the time has come for the people of Oklahoma to write some laws for themselves. one of the most basic and fundamental reforms needed in Oklahoma, one that unfortunately was rejected during this session, calling for the transfer of the millions of dollars that each year, unfortunately again, but all too true, are being wasted in the antiquated and outdated county commissioner road system. Therefore, if I were to place any two fields of reform of any greater importance or higher in stature because of need than any others, it would be in those two areas. The highway program that is so vitally needed with its consequent reform in the transfer of the county commissioner funds and reapportionment of our state legislature. In the past, I've called upon you all for help. I've been most gratified, humble, I hope we will always retain it, and respectful for that help that you have given us. I know that Oklahoma can have the kind of government and the kind of state that each one of you and I hold deep within our hearts as a desire and a hope for the future of our state. That we can accomplish this, that it can be done. And so, as we've said on many occasions to you and others across the state before, with your help, we can and we will win this battle and accomplish this growth, this picture of the Sooner land about which all of us have dreamed so long. We'll be calling on you soon for that help. With it, we can succeed. Thank you very much.
No, I think we're paying enough now.
You wouldn't be in favor of such a tax then?
No, I don't.
Well, I realize that we have to pay for the civic government and improvements that we all expect, but I think that a lot of the public right now is against any increase in taxes, and I think that if it's necessary, I'm for it, but I sure hate to see any increased taxes that are not well thought out and a lot of planning behind them.
I don't think anybody'd welcome a new tax, Virgil, but we've got to face this situation. Oklahoma City is expanding, we're giving more services, and it's obvious the city's got to have more money, and that's got to come from somewhere. It may be a new tax. I can't help but think that it would be very difficult, however, to get the people to vote an additional tax on themselves, and that's what's called for under this bill.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think so. We've got enough tax as it is already.
I'd be in favor of a tax if it were used for what it was supposed to be used for.
No, I think we're paying too many taxes already.
So you wouldn't vote for such a tax?
No, I wouldn't.
I believe if this were taken to a vote of the people and the people had decided that it was the thing to do for the city, then I'd go along with it.
Thus far, Virgil, we have had very little effect from the strike, although the steel stocks were all down $1 or so today. We have an old axiom in the stock market that says never sell on strike news.
Do people generally go by that axiom?
If the strike is of a short duration, people will very rarely sell. However, if the strike lasts for a long period of time, many times they will begin to sell their holdings.
How about some side effects on the market? Are any other stocks being affected at all by the strike?
The transportation industry in the East is particularly affected by the strike. Such big railroads as Pennsylvania and New York Central will have to furlough a considerable number of people. As a matter of fact, Pennsylvania Railroad carries about 20% of its total tonnage in steel products. And when the strike went into effect, they furloughed approximately 6,500 workers to allow for that big drop in tonnage.
Have the prices on the market of such railroad firms dropped accordingly?
Yes, both of the big eastern rails, New York Central and Pennsylvania, have dropped approximately $2 to $3 each.
So actually the steel strike is being felt in side industries right now rather than the primary industry.
That is correct.